Real Nuneaton Driving Test PASS. This is Sommer, and she's going to take her test today. Today is the 16th of 10th 2020, so 16th of October, and the test is for 8 o'clock in the morning, so that's why it's a little bit dusk on the screen, but that will brighten up as we go further on. That's me there, the scruffy one, and that's Sommer. And Sommer is going to show us a masterclass here today in how to pass your driving test. If only we could get the bonnet open on the car, that would be a great start, wouldn't it? There you go. So we're just going, at this point, we're just going through the show me, tell me type of questions, and trying to explain to Sommer how to open the bonnet. And the catch seems to be sticking, but there it is. Now it's just Sommer and the examiner, and she's on her test now. And like I said, and I don't mind repeating it, this video is going to be a masterclass in how to pass your driving test. There are bits in it that are particularly good. Sommer will be pulled in a few times just to see her pull off again, and also there'll be a manoeuvre, a reversing manoeuvre, and there won't be an emergency stop. So not all the tests have emergency stops, but she's set off now, and we're coming around here. This is Beaumont Road in Nuneaton, and we're going to be turning left in a few seconds. And so here we are. Always turn left here, can't go any other way, so that's the only way off of this road if you're driving. And that brings us into this, whatever this road is called. Now normally people go right on their test when they come down this road, and let's see if that's what happens today. On either side here you'll see parked cars which are blocking Sommer's view. And so she's just creeping forward, making sure, and then away you go. So that's very good. That's a brilliant start to her test. She's passed kind of over the first hurdle, if you like. She's got through the first little bit of difficulty. And then we come straight down to another bit, really, where this is a similar type of junction, except the road that we're turning into here is quite busy. It's always quite busy, it normally is. And what Sommer's having to do is just wait for a few seconds whilst the road clears. But they're turning left, and she's gone out before she's gone around there, you'll have noticed. And that's so that the back wheel doesn't clip the curb. So that's another little hurdle that she's overcome there quite brilliantly. So the next turning is here. We're turning right, standard right turn really, into a road that is quite narrow already, made more narrow by the cars that are parked down there. And she's going to need to pull in on the left soon, and she'll be doing an angled start. Here we go. First of all, pulls in quite nicely. She's dropped the car into first gear about here, and then just gliding up, lining herself up and stopping here. So that already that's a very, very good stop. And now the examiner's saying, you know, this is an angled start exercise. And look at the control here. How smooth is that? That's brilliant, that is, Sommer. Well done, mate. That's brilliant. That's very, very good. So that already she's right on top of the game. And one of the things about the way that Sommer drives, and has always driven throughout all of her lessons, is she can make the transitions between, you know, one little bit of driving and the next bit really, really smooth. And it will show in this video the whole time. It showed on that bit there, and here again we're just turning right into this road. She's edging forward, making sure it's clear. It's quite a tight little area this is, isn't it, in Nuneaton, just off of Queen's Road. And again we're coming up to a really tight angled corner here. where Sommer will need to pull out before she can go around in order that she doesn't, clip the curb with the back wheel, excuse me. What you'll see here is there'll be a Fiat 500 that will let her out, or that will stop just this side of the keep clear. There it is, it's stopping now. And so the bus is blocking away at the moment. And now the bus is gone, it means that she can move forward and then around. And again, she's made sure that she hasn't clipped the curb with the back wheel there. So that's great. And then she's going to turn right into this one-way street. So far, so good. Not picked up any faults yet. There will be some faults on this test, and you'll probably spot them as she goes around. There's one or two that are fairly obvious, so you'll have to look out for those. But that's part of the masterclass of this, really, in that she's made mistakes here, but she's kept her cool, kept her composure, knows that she's a good driver, and she actually is a very, very good driver, knows that, and has just got on with the job. So, you know what, Sommer, if you're watching this, you've done fantastically well here, and this is a great drive, and you deserve to pass because you're very, very good at this. We're gonna, what happened now is we'll get to the end of this road and we'll turn left, not right, left. So watch the transition here, it's smooth. She's pulling out, she's making sure that she can see around the green car there before she commits herself into the space. Absolute classic emerging at the end of the road. Now we know, don't we, that emerging at the end of the road is the most common fault people make on driving tests. And Sommer, as you can see, has had to emerge a few times and has done each one with absolutely out of the top drawer. And this is going to be another one here, where it's a stop line. So she's stopped, there you go, handbrake has gone on. And now she's looking both ways. Well, I know she is, because I wasn't in the car, obviously, but I know she is because she's passed. She's edging forward, she's looking again, and again, and then she's away. So again, very good. There's another piece of driving that's coming up that shows just how good and how bright and an intelligent driver Sommer is. And it's going to be when she gets to the end of this road and turns left onto Coton Road. But in the meantime, you'll notice that as we go down here, she's going to just ease off the gas a little bit there, timing her approach to let the 4x4 go over. And she's going to try and do the same thing with the van. All of these cars, they're all in a bit of a rush. It is 10 past 8 on a Friday morning, and so they're probably all kind of rushing to work and things. So they're kind of forcing the way through like this taxi did. But again, she's keeping her cool, nice and easy, not letting herself get flustered by this. And just getting on with her job, really. They go straight ahead at this mini roundabout, and that's going to take them to the end of this street. This is Edward Street, and we're going to come on to Coton Road. And according to the sign there, there's only one way that you can go. And, well, that's the way she's going to go. That's not the brilliant bit, by the way. The brilliant bit is coming up. So if we watch these cars as they go past, you see the pedestrian crossing is on red. There's a blue car there, and that's followed by a white car that will come up behind the blue car in a few seconds. There it is. And as we move out, the blue car at some point down here will hold the white car up. It will stop it making progress. Sommer has been asked to turn right at the next roundabout, taking the third exit. And so she moves into her lane nice and early, as you should do. We can see that the two cars now are a bit holding each other up, and so we've caught up with the white car. Now most people would have just gone flying past this white car, but I think here Sommer has thought, well, I'm not quite sure what he's doing, so I'll just hang back, I'll let him get away from me, and then I'll carry on. That is brilliant. That is brilliant, intelligent driving. So she's took care of herself and her car really there, and also she's taken care of the white car. She's made sure that there wasn't ever going to be any kind of a crash there. That's very, very, very good driving. Most people, like I say, would have just gone flying past that white car and not really knowing which way they were going to go. So I think, again, she should have passed the test just for that. Just for that. That was just, brilliant driving there. And we're going to turn right at this next roundabout here. And as we come up to this roundabout, you'll see, again, got ourselves into the correct lane early. Look how busy this roundabout is, and watch this flow. It's going to flow right in. Fantastic timing our approach, easing the way around, and then just flowing right off. If you want to see how to position yourself and how to get the correct speed so that you can see where your gaps are, and how to be in the correct position as you go around a roundabout to pass your driving test, just rewind that, because that was fantastic. That was flowing, and it was everything about that was absolute top draw. This is a very, very, very good drive from a very, very good driver who is absolutely on top of her game. Going through the bridge. And then we're coming up to, we know along this road, don't we, there's a yellow shop halfway along it. And at that yellow shop, there's a mini roundabout. Here we are. And again, just going to make sure it's clear and then take ourselves through. Very, very good. And straight away, there's the next thing to deal with, which is these red lights. Now just turning to green and away again. Nice smooth transitions from one part of the drive to the next. And it's an absolute feature of the way that Sommer drives, and it's an absolute, if you want to pass your test, just do what she's doing here, because you'll definitely pass. As we come along here, we're coming up to what is, I think, the busiest roundabout in Nuneaton. There's two quite quick roads. I say quite quick roads, they're both 30-mile-an-hour roads, but it seems like the roundabout's really open, and so people come up to it quite quickly, and it's sometimes difficult for particularly learner drivers or new drivers to get on and off of this roundabout. But let's see what Sommer does. Again, flowed up, got through, and flowed off. And, you couldn't do that much better than that. So we've turned right at a couple of those kind of roundabouts and gone straight ahead at that particular one. And she's coped with all of that really, really well. No problems at all. Made it all look a bit too easy, really. The next thing they're going to do is they're going to turn right off of this road, and I think this is where Sommer makes her first mistake and picks up her first fault. Let's see if you can spot it. It's not the positioning, because that's perfect. Did you spot it? You can comment in the comment box if you did or you didn't. We're going to pull in on the left here. So part of the test on this day was to follow the sat-nav. And it looks to me like this is where the examiner is saying to Sommer, you know, this is just going to follow the sat-nav for 20-25 minutes from here. And we'll let the sat-nav take over directions or whatever they say on the test for this. But it's the sat-nav from now on, so it's the independent driving part of things. And everything now is down to Sommer and all of our kind of decisions, not that it wasn't already, making our own decisions and making sure that everything is just so. It looks like she's taking a little bit of time to pull away here. But we don't know what's behind. There you go, there's a silver car behind, and obviously she's looking ahead to see what's oncoming, and she's spotted the headlights of this other vehicle coming through, and she's waited in a very, very good place where she can see around the white car, and she's got a nice little escape route, so she's not got too close to the Ford car in front of us. Excuse me. The road here goes quite narrow, and normally there's kind of a big thing when the road goes narrow. Is he going to step off? Do you know, every time I've seen this video, I've always thought that guy's going to step off the pavement, and I must have seen it 6 times. I always say, oh, is he going to step off? There you go. But no, he didn't, did he? So we've come off this next roundabout now, and we're just following the road ahead, and you can see that Sommer's keeping a good position on the road. She's keeping a good distance from the parked vehicles and a good enough distance from the oncoming vehicles to easily go through there. And she's using the speed quite intelligently as well, because it's a less space, less speed situation. There's another roundabout coming up now. She's down to 17, 16, 14, 13. She's just going to ease herself round, keeping an excellent position on the roundabout itself. And then she's indicating now. We know she's indicating because that car's moved on. And so that's what that indicator's for, isn't it? To allow the oncoming vehicles to know that they're coming off here and that they can carry on. So we're just climbing the hill. She's just using a little bit of gas by the looks of things, judging by the speed, just to get her up to the top of the hill, but then making sure as she's coming down the other side that she's having less gas, that's going to kind of maintain that regular speed. So again, just an absolute masterclass really in how to pass your driving test. The next thing that they're going to come up to is a mini roundabout at the end of this road. And I always like people to get into first gear at this one. We're going to be turning left. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the MPH. We've gone right down to 11, 9, 7. We haven't stopped, 4, and we're flowing through. So she's just dropped the car into first gear, eased herself up to the island, had a good look, make sure it's clear, and then eased herself around. That again is how to do a mini roundabout at the end of the road. Just so you know, again, if you're watching this video, I am going to be showing it to people so that they can see to my students in particular, so that they can see how they should drive to pass their driving test. Because this is brilliant. Again, she's been asked to turn right at the next roundabout. We know that because there you go, she's changed lanes. And well, actually, the sat nav has probably asked her to turn right here, and we're going to follow the signs for Nuneaton, and it will say none on the road. And this is the Griff Island. And I know I've said it already a few times, but this is going to be absolutely out of the top drawer. Everything about this, the speed, positioning, the kind of the finding the lanes, spiraling with the roundabout, everything about this is going to be perfect. So if you're looking how to complete the Griff roundabout from this entrance to the exit that takes you to Nuneaton, then just replay this, because this is fantastic. I'll just leave it. I'll just be quiet and let you see. I would challenge anyone to do that well, because that was very, very, very good. And again, Sommer, she deserved to pass her test just because of that, because that was fantastic. Now, if you look here, this is another intelligent piece of driving, because we can see there's a white van in front of us that's only going 39 miles an hour. It's a 50 zone, but also there are cars passing the car on the right hand lane, so we can't move out. And even if we did, if you look beyond the van, there's nowhere to move in, can't get back in, so no point in overtaking. So all that Sommer's done here is match the speed of the van, no point in going quicker than the van, and has kind of kept up with the speed of the road in that way. Again, just a very, very bright, intelligent piece of driving. And you can see, because she's done that, she's kept a nice space in front of the car. And she can manage that space now. She's got lots and lots and lots of reaction time. And, very, very bright. As we're moving off. Now, what some people would do would just follow this white van in, because the roundabout still looks clear at this point. But actually, someone has spotted the red car that's indicating from there coming round. So she's made sure at that point she hasn't slowed anyone down or impeded their progress, and now can move on safely. Again, very, very good observations there, and it proves that she's looking in the right places to make good decisions on whether to go or whether not to go on the roundabouts. And that's really helped her in the smoothness of the whole drive. When we get to this round, we'll go under this banana bridge. People call it the banana bridge, don't they? We're going to go under that. They'll be turning left then off of this road. There you go. And again, spotted a silver car coming round. There's a space behind it. So away you go. So you're much safer, aren't you, in the space behind, where the car's running away or driving away from you, than you are trying to jump in front of it where the other car's driving towards you. And again, that's just smart driving, isn't it? That's just smart, clever driving. just follow this road. They're just following this road around, and well, you can see they've gone into the left lane, which on this next roundabout would tell you that they'll be going left at this one. This is going to take them into Heath End Road. Now what we know about Heath End Road is there's always a row of parked cars, which makes it quite narrow in parts. And that's just because there's lots of terraced houses and they're only allowed to park on one side of the road. So it makes it quite narrow here. But because we already had a space in front of the car there, she's managed to ease up and leave again another gap so that she can just have lots of kind of reaction time, manage the space in front of the car and just ease her way through, making sure that she's safe and everyone around her is safe. So that's very, very good as well. I am losing my voice, so hopefully I'll get to the end of this. Not that anyone cares. Anyway, as we're coming down this Heath End Road, they'll be turning right into Ray Woods, and there's a roundabout there, but there's lots of kind of road markings. And what we need to look at here is how Sommer has negotiated the road markings so that she doesn't go onto the hatch lines. And it's very, very, very good. It's gone through the traffic lights here. There's the hatch lines, and then she's moved into that right-hand lane. You know, again, that shows that she knows what she's doing, doesn't it? That shows a kind of competence in the way that she's driving that, frankly, is above the standard for the test. As we're coming round, actually most of the time that Sommer was having her lessons, she would do things that made me think, oh, that was brilliant, that was absolutely very good. So I would say that quite a lot as we were driving around. So it's no surprise to me that she's passed the test with ease and has made it look this easy as well. Absolutely no surprise to me at all. This is Ray Woods, or the Ray Wood. It's a strange name for a street. I don't really understand it. I did Google it once, but I couldn't really, still didn't get to find out why it was called that. Anyway, we're going over the speed bumps, and you'll notice that she's not going too fast here. This is not a 20-mile-an-hour road, but then again, there's a bus in front of us at this point, and we don't know whether the bus is going to pull up. We need to leave a little bit of a space there so that if he does pull up, we can get around him. He hasn't done yet, and actually the examiner's asked her to pull in here, hasn't he, on the left. And I think this is where they've said, right, well, we've done with the independent driving now, and he's turned the sat-nav off, and then he's going to give directions from this point on. And this is where someone needs to pull away. But you can see there's, you know, it's busy road, busy traffic. The Ray Wood always seems to be quite busy anyway. But at this time of the day, 8:30, there's one or two schools near to here. And it's kind of school run time. You can see all the people on the way to schools there. Anyway, we've got away. And we'll be turning left at the mini roundabout here. And again, this is, for me, this is a first gear one. Just watch the speedometer at the bottom of the screen. Definitely got first gear there. Definitely use the clutch to creep forward. Here's where I think Sommer's made another mistake and picked up another fault. See if you can see what it is. Okay, again, if you can't see it, then just look in the comments. I'm sure someone will comment and let us all know. But there was a definite one there, but it's not one that's bad enough to fail. It's just a mistake that she's made not really affected too many other people, and she's managed to work her way through it anyway. So very, very good. Kept her composure. She will have known that she's made that mistake there, and this is another one really, isn't it? And she'll have known that she'll have made that mistake there as well, but she's still got the presence of mind to deal with this bit here. And this bit is where you know, it's school run time, people are parking up in strange places, and other people are trying to force their way through, and so she's got to just negotiate this bit, having just made a couple of mistakes, and that might still be on her mind. She's still kept her composure and her cool and her kind of, you know, to get herself through that little space there. And so we'll be turning, or the car will be turning right off of this road. I think it's just around this next bend. This is one I always seem to miss. I always come up here thinking, right, I must turn down there because I know there's things to do down there. But then by the time I've seen it, I've kind of missed it. And here it is. So the white car's turning out of that road. That's where we're going next, into this one. Just going to take herself around the corner. Very, very good. And they'll be doing their manoeuvre, their reversing manoeuvre along this road here. For anyone that needs to know, this is Rutland, I think it's Rutland Street or Avenue. And she's pulled up here, and the examiner's now explaining to her, I would imagine, that he wants her to pull away, find a place to pull in and park on the right hand side, reverse back a couple or 2 or 3 car lengths, and then rejoin the traffic. Now the thing about this here is in terms of the manoeuvres, they're all of them are about how you control the car and where you're looking, your observations. That's the only 2 things that the examiner's looking for. Okay. Now on this manoeuvre, Sommer's observations are absolutely spot on. So what I'm going to do is I'll just be quiet and I'll let you see, and all I'll say is just see what happens with the red car. Okay, so did you notice that? She started to reverse and then she stopped, and then there was a gap, and then the red car came past. And that to me means that as she's started to reverse back there, she's looking over her shoulders and she's seen a red car coming down the road from a little way back. So in good time, she's stopped, she's let the red car go by, and then there's another little gap while she's checking around again, and then she starts to reverse again. That is perfect observations. And again, that's another, she's done a lot of things here, hasn't she, that she deserves to pass just for that. And that's one of them. So brilliant observations there, Sommer. Well done, mate. Well done, mate. You've done brilliantly today. We're going to be turning into Tomkinson Road here now. Again, you can see that it's very narrow. She's being very careful about staying on the correct side of the road. The next thing we're going to come to is a very, very tight mini roundabout. And she goes really steady, keeps a good position, tries not to go over the circle, and carries on. And this is now we're one street away from the test centre here, and so they're definitely on the way back to the test centre. It's been my privilege actually to help Sommer get through her driving test. I felt a lot of the time that she was taking her lessons that I was just kind of almost helping her to get through and not really having to teach her anything. But she was brilliant from day one to this day when she's passed her driving test. An absolute credit to herself and her family, and I'm really, really, really pleased that she's passed on this day. As we come down here, she's going to pull in and park on the left, and that will bring the test to an end. So that's Sommer's driving test, and for me that's a masterclass in how to pass. Just pulling up, there you go, congratulations. Sommer, you have passed your test today, and yippee, yippee. And the next bit you'll see is that's this bit here. This is me driving away now, because we have, obviously she's not allowed to drive after the driving test. So this is me driving away. So if you're going to judge any part of this video, judge this bit. In the meantime, well, hope to bring you more test pass videos, and well, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys.